get straight to the heart of the game. From the hottest plays on the court to the controversies off it. We're breaking it all down with unfiltered takes and raw honesty. No sugarcoating, no holding back. Just real talk for real fans. Let's get into it.
Hi everyone, this is your girl Keisha with Cut the Ish Real Talk Sports. I'm coming here to talk to you about this upcoming game with LSU versus South Carolina. Now the game got postponed because they got snow in my hometown of Baton Rouge and in the South, we don't do snow, so everything was pretty much shut down. So they had to postponed the game to Friday, so now it's Friday at 4 o'clock instead of it was supposed to be Thursday, I think like at 7. But now it's Friday at 4 o'clock. LSU comes into this game 20-0 and 5-0 in SEC. They are one of the last undefeated teams. The only people that are undefeated now is LSU and UCLA. South Carolina comes into this battle 18-1 and 6-0 in SEC play. The first thing I want to do is talk about my nemesis, South Carolina. Shout out to South Carolina. I love Dawn State. I love the program. However, whenever they're going against my Tigers, I don't like them as much as I should. But I respect that program. I love Dawn State. I love what she does in South Carolina. So I'm going to go through them first. South Carolina only has one loss, guys, and that was against UCLA. I want to say that was maybe the second game of the season when everything was fairly new for this squad that's for Don Staley. Also, I don't think they had Ashley Watkins in that game. I want to say for Wiley didn't play a whole bunch of minutes in that game. So that South Carolina team is not the one that's steamrolling through opponents in the SEC right now. After that UCLA loss, they proceeded to go out and take all their frustration out on the rest of the teams they played. I mean, blowing out their opponents. I mean, they just blew out Oklahoma to a tune of 40 points. And Oklahoma was supposed to be a good team, a ranked team. They came into um, South Carolina and got the doors blown off them. The one thing about the South Carolina Gamecocks that you know they're going to be coached well. They're very coached well. They run deep. They have their they have a bench. They have a starting five, and they all play as a cohesive unit. They are really good on defense on the inside and on the perimeter. They are solid at every position. You don't. They did lose Ashley Watkins, but her replacement has been balling. Edwards has been balling. So it's almost like it was no drop off when Ashley Watkins went out. They don't have to meet. One thing about South Carolina, they don't have what you call a standout star, one of those stars that's just standing out above the rest. But however, I think that's all of them are talented. So I think that's because of the system that they're in and they're playing their roles for Darcella and they're playing within that system. Um, they are very talented group, guys. They play winning basketball and they're very well coached. They have a balanced scoring attack. I want to go through their stats. Okay, we're gonna look at some stats for South Carolina. I want y'all to see this, guy. South Carolina is averaging 82 points a game, as we see this right here, but they are holding opponents to 55 points a game. So yes, guys, they are uh, very good defensive team. I also wanted to show y'all they're shooting 47% as a team, field goal percentage. They're shooting 34% from the three. They take more threes than we do. Um, I also want to show you they rebound the ball pretty well. They rebound their opponents by 10 rebounds per game. 10.6, as you see here. Um, they assist the ball really well because they work as a team unit. They also um, they also cause a lot of turnovers and they get a lot of steals. They get about 9.5 steals per game, guys. That's as a team. So as you can see, they are fundamentally sound on defense. They shoot the ball pretty well. They shoot the three about 34% of the time. But this number up here, guys, holding opponents to 55 points a game is is uh is diabolical, is all I can say. And they also force you to turn the ball over. Um, they turn it over as a team at an average of about 12.1, but they cause their opponents to turn the ball over about 17 times a game, guys. So you have to beat them. You got to play efficient basketball because they get a lot of points off these turnovers. What else I want? I want to show. I also want to show you guys. Here, I'm about to show you just the first half of that South Carolina Oklahoma Sooners game. Let's roll the tape so you can see. These are just the highlights. I'm just going to show like the first quarter. I want you to see how efficient they are and how they run their offense and lock down on defense. The freshman that came in, Joyce Edwards, she's been balling. They never missed a beat when Ashley Watkins went down. Here we go.
For Oklahoma, it's not just there's Sahina Pow.
Sahina to the cup.
Step up off the window and ball movement there. Ball movement and pace of cuts.
Because Raven Johnson, the one they say can't shoot.
Raven Johnson from the free throw line. But Oklahoma working in transition, Skylar Van.
They got caught in transition, South Carolina.
Total value of $25.25 million. She was extended through the 2029 in that rotation. But Watkins is being so much more assertive on the offensive end. Now, I'm sorry, Edwards is being
about to go to work
assertive on the offensive end as well as Kagan. Your best defense against a player like who's scoring like Van is just to go at her.
It did not matter who was in the paint.
Too little, too late.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by.
For Wiley looking to cook. Over to Edwards.
Just getting killed.
I'm speechless right now because this is a freshman.
Just move, man.
Measuring up to the defender. As soon as Colton goes high, she steps to make. Oh, yeah. And time up onto beating three as well. All first quarter.
So, yes, guys. So, South Carolina is an elite team. They can score the ball. They hold their opponents to 34% shooting. They causing their opponents to give up about 17 to 18 turnovers a game. They averaging 9.5 steals per game. I mean, and they have had tough opponents like Texas, Oklahoma, UCLA, and TCU. So they are built right, and also Dawn Staley is always really good at replenishing her bench and having these 4- and 5-star recruits fit into the system and keep that system turning. They're like a machine. But let's hear about their opponent next. Now let's get to my LSU Tigers. The first, I guess, about 16 or 17 games have been pretty much against non-ranked opponents. They had what they call cupcake schedule at the beginning of the season. They have 2 quality wins, I think, against Tennessee and then against Vanderbilt. Those were pretty good wins. I would like to see, I would say this about my Tigers. I would like to see them be more dominant when they come straight out the gate. But usually what I did see from them is when they get down, they always end up righting the ship and pulling away in the second half of the game. They also have clutch players down the stretch that can get buckets and take over a game if need be. The one thing about LSU is they got multiple guards that can pull out a game. Of course, you got Anissa Morrow. She's a Naismith winner of the week. She is a walking double-double. I think she's probably averaging. She's averaging 19.6 points a game and 14 rebounds a game in SEC play. Let that sink in. Then you have Michaela Williams, who's also a guard, who's shooting the ball at a great clip. She can shoot threes. And you also have Flau'jae Johnson. Flau'jae Johnson can affect the stat sheet in many different ways. So you have that triple threat from LSU, and you have a player in Kaylin Gilbert that can come off the bench and give you some great minutes, give you a spark, and can also take over a game if she needs to take over a game. But, however, they have to be forged and fired. Now it's time to see what this team is made of. SEC play is always going to separate the puppies from the dogs. They are still undefeated, which is a great feat. But now you're going to go up against teams like South Carolina and all these ranked SEC teams. People often ask me, family members, people I talk sports with, do you feel we're being disrespected? Talking about LSU, I don't think LSU is being disrespected. Being ranked at number 5, and you haven't played but maybe 2 or 3 ranked opponents, I think it's okay, because in that group of that 5, you got UCLA, you got UConn, you have USC, you have Notre Dame. So I don't think we're getting disrespected. Being number 5 is probably right where we should be. The rivalry between these two teams, we've already known. It's been intense every year since Kim Mulkey's been there, and the rivalry is still intact because Twitter is going crazy with people going back and forth. Kim Mulkey is 0-4 against South Carolina. She is 0-4 against Darn Staley. So LSU comes into this game probably with a lot of, I want to say, pressure, because they just want to get over that hump. Could this be the year? The one thing I like about this team that's different from the other teams is they can play small ball, they can light it up, or they can go big if they can get their bigs to come to the party, like Samaya Smith and sometimes Wolfenberger, and then sometimes it's been Rosario. Kim Mulkey has been doing this rotation, trying to figure out who is going to fill the role of Angel Reese. She's having a hard time finding that right combination. But hey, this is the time to throw them in the fire. Let's check out the stats of LSU. All right, let's look at these statistics. LSU is averaging 90 points a game, guys, and they're holding their opponent to an average of 62 points a game. So it's a little bit they giving a little bit more than South Carolina, but not too far off. I think South Carolina was like giving up like 55, and we giving up 62. Our field goal percentage is on par with South Carolina. We're shooting the ball at about a 48 to 49% clip, and we shooting the 3 ball about 33%. So we are a little on par with South Carolina there. Rebounding, we are rebounding a little bit more than South Carolina. We're out rebounding our opponents by 15.2 rebounds a game, and that's because of Anissa Morrow. We crash the glass. We get extra opportunities. That's what she does for us inside. So that's the greatness of Anissa Morrow. That's why we're out rebounding. I think South Carolina was out rebounding their opponents by like 10 rebounds, and we're doing 15. The assists are pretty much the same. I'm not gonna really dwell on that. Turnovers. We're committing about 14 turnovers a game. So and we're getting about a good 10.4 steals per game, which is pretty good because I think South Carolina was like about 9 or so. So both teams are about right there with that, getting about 4 blocks a game. So yeah, so these two teams, if you would say, are kind of evenly matched when you think about it. The only thing I would say the difference between us and South Carolina is I believe South Carolina plays better perimeter defense than we do. So we're gonna have to make sure we guard the 3-point line, guard the outside, the cut, all that stuff that's going on out there. We're gonna have to make sure we do that. So okay, we're gonna take a look at some highlights from LSU versus Florida. Here we go. They all in big full face to start this game. Let's see what we got. I'm just gonna play like the first quarter so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Look like Kim Mulkey is going with Samaya Smith, the big to start here. She changes them out so frequently, but I see Samaya Smith is getting the start here. She gets it to Michaela. Oh, 3 ball's good. We don't take a whole bunch of threes, but when we take them, Michaela's usually the one taking them. And Flage. That's just a replay. They put replaying the same play. Let's see what we got here. Turnover. Still. Get out, transition, and run. Good pass. Oh, good feed to Anissa. They called a timeout immediately. Florida was having some problems in the beginning. That perimeter defense. Remember I pointed that out, guys? They got to get better at that because South Carolina can hit that 3. Good feed inside. Here comes Flage. She just gonna take this. 3 ball is good. Again. Look, guys. Again. What is happening here? Now, see, we got another big in the game. That's Jersey Wolfenbarger. So, see, Kim Marketing already switched out from Samaya Smith to Jersey. And sometimes she's got to get more aggressive. She's 6'5", but sometimes it doesn't feel like she's playing that way. It's noticeable. So that's why Kim Market is still rotating at that position. Here comes Michaela Williams hitting them in the head again. See, LSU got LSU got players that about 3 or 4 of them can score the ball and can go on a heater. Two minutes left in the first quarter. Anissa's going to clean that up in the midst of all the trees. I like this girl from Florida, this number 24. I forgot her name. I like her. See, now you see Kim Mulkey has taken everybody out except for, talking about big, except for Anissa. Flage strokes the 3 again. So, guys, I think you get where I'm coming from with that. I'm going to stop showing that. So we get down to the question. Do I believe LSU can beat South Carolina? Absolutely, I believe they can beat South Carolina. You know why? First, let me say this. Both teams have an X factor on the bench. That's in Fuwale and Kaylin Gilbert. But I also, and if we let Fuwale get off, we are in trouble because they're solid at they starting 5 position. I believe LSU can beat this team because of the foul power they possess at the guard spot. But LSU has got to play efficient basketball. They can't create all these turnovers because South Carolina makes you pay. We got to crash the board. We got to fight for 50-50 balls. And we're going to have to fight the refs. And we're going to have to fight the crowd in Colonial Life Arena. However, this squad, I think, can go in there and get a win because they've shown over the course of this season that they can go into the fire and keep fighting until the end. Clutch shot after clutch shot to keep that undefeated season going. Now, it doesn't mean as much as a win doesn't mean as much to me at this point in the season because it's all about what you do in March Madness. But this game is gonna be a clash of the Titans. It's gonna sharpen iron. Some people on Twitter talking about it's gonna be a blowout and all this, that, and the third. It will not be a blowout. I think it's gonna go down to the wire, and I think it's gonna be very, very competitive. But I'm going with my Tigers because any one of their guards can take it one-on-one. Kim Marker can go small. She can go big. It's all about the adjustments Dawn is gonna make to these different lineups that she throw out there. I know Dawn Staley is gonna be ready. So trust me and believe. If South Carolina pulls out the win, I definitely won't be shocked. But I'm going with my Tigers. I want you guys to like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments who you think gonna win this game. Whether you're a Tiger fan or a South Carolina fan, it doesn't matter. Just let me know. And this is your girl Keisha with Cut the Ish. I'm out.